This is Duke University.
Because for Chinese, most of family is from the villages. We just became city people from my generation or my parent generation. So just go back to one generation, we can find the root in the villages. That's what's really China. In city, in urban city especially, not really China. Really China from the village, from a small town. So when they're back to the village, to working, to search the history and memory, and then can find something by themselves. Or they can find what's the big change. Meng Qi is the different, she back to the village where her father was born there. At the early 1980s, her father moved to a city and became the citizen. She was born in the town. But now she back to the village where her father left, but her grandpa still living there, or her father's brother still living there. So the village, she didn't like too much about back to there, but now she choose to back to, which means she really want to close something. For example, the first knowledge, we call the knowledge, normal knowledge 是常识 how to say the 常识 common language or common knowledge 常识就是基本的知 common sense. We had many questions about problem about the common sense. For example, what's the name of the grandpa? Some of the American people or German people sort of, I was surprised. Chinese people don't know their grandpa's name or grandma's name. They just called grandpa, grandma, but they had their own name. He or she had their own name, but they just called the grandpa, blah blah. But grandpa is for its common words. And then they start to get to know what's the name of the. Okay, Meng Qi said, what's your name of your grandpa? Ding Mingfa. So you got to his name in the way back to the village. Okay, and age, of course. She was born in the 1933. So she got to know her grandpa this year is 79 years old. Before they just, okay, maybe 61 or maybe 17 or, I forgot about that. I'm just enjoying the something, what's the fantastic car, or then, where's Duke, can Duke to study? So, it's it's the new generation. What's they're looking for this? But then now they start from the very basic idea, common thing. Right? We have many problems for the common thing. Yeah. And then they start to sitting with the old people in the village to listen the story from them about the great farming, which happened in the 1950s to 1961. There was a surprise. Some village, like Xiaoping's village, many people was hungry, serving for parents with the stomach, no food. They're looking for any food by any chance, just can eat. Okay, eat. Okay, let's eat. And then there was a skill, and then the body is to, how to say the 肿, and then someone died. Like the Xiaoping's village said, there is 2 or 3 persons who died in the village per day. And then until the ending, nobody to move the body out to be, to that, because they couldn't move. Well, no food. So, especially for this old story, it's coming from the old people in the first time. We had not any resource about these people. When we're talking about the history, it's the history used to be handled by the official, someone or governments. They just give the and even they said, okay, Cultural Revolution, or the 反右, how to say the 反右, how to say the English? and the great farming. They said, okay, this is one thing we did before. It's made by Mao. No, finished. It's over. It's a bad thing. Forget about it. We are looking forward. You know, they're used to do like this. Especially for the professional or scholar, they are working, studying the history. But still, no, we have not seen the book or some article about the great farming. I just mentioned about the great farming. Maybe for the Cultural Revolution, they had many book or article about this. Especially the government want to control that, but still some book articles are published here. But for the great farming, we have not seen too much, or maybe it's nothing. So which means the people who had the bad story, but bad memory from the Cultural Revolution, after they have the opportunity, they had the freedom, they can writing or critical or check something from this history. But the great farming, which the period who, how many people? People said is over the 2,000 million, so 2,000万, so how to say that? 20 million and 30 million. 30 million who died in this period. So many people who died, but no people to talking about this history, because those people who in the village, they had a lot of education, they had a lot of right or chance to speak to people. Just someone, the writer or journalist or filmmaker like me, to go to the city or village to tell a story and then take the material, come back to the village, the city, and then forget about it. And then they're still living there.
Produced by Duke University. Online at duke.edu.